Good morning. Today we'll discuss about an overview on CAD standards. So CAD standards are actually classified into different groups. One is standard for computer graphics, next standard for exchange of images, data exchange standards, and communication standards. Uh, GKS or graphics kernel system is a standard utilized for computer graphics. Similarly, Open Graphics Library or OpenGL is a standard used for exchange of images. IGES, STEP, DXF, and CALS are some of the data exchange standards. And finally, we'll also have a glimpse on communication standards. So here, what is the actual purpose of standards for computer graphics, or what is the major purpose for utilizing standards in CAD? So before directly moving on to that, you should know what is the meaning of standards or what's the meaning of standardization. For example, if you are drawing an image in your computer using a software known as Microsoft Paint, you're using Microsoft Paint to draw an image in your computer. So after drawing, what you will do commonly is you will save that particular image in JPEG format or maybe in PNG format. And after a while, what you may do is you will use Windows Photo Viewer to view the image you are drawn using Microsoft Paint. So what makes that possible? The standard in which, or the standard format in which you saved the drawing is JPEG. So this JPEG format is universally acceptable for majority of the photo viewing softwares. So that makes it possible for you to open a drawing you made using Microsoft Paint in some other different software known as Windows Photo Viewer. Then what you may do? So after viewing that drawing you made using Paint, you may just email that particular drawing to your friend, and your friend may open that particular drawing in his computer, and he'll he'll view that particular drawing in some other different photo viewing software, such as for example Picasa Photo Viewer. You may use photo viewing software such as Picasa Photo Viewer in his PC or in his computer. He'll be able to visualize the drawing made by you in your computer in a different software known as Microsoft Paint. So what is exactly happening there? The data is being transferred from one particular place to another particular place. It is being visualized from one particular application to another different particular application. So that means your software or your drawing, the drawing you saved, is maintaining a set of standards. So that is the major purpose of standardization. That means you have made your drawing portable, you have made your drawing universal, and that is the purpose served by the standards. So this concept could be utilized, this particular idea could be utilized in computer aided design applications, so that the drawings which is made by the CAD modules or the CAD softwares could be interchanged to different set of computers, could be interchanged to different set of applications, could be interchanged with different people. So this particular thing is known as what? Device independence. So first we are going to discuss about the standards for computer graphics. And graphics kernel system is a standard which is utilized for serving this purpose. Standards for computer graphics, that is to make your graphics, what is meant by graphics? Simply drawings. So GKS helps to make your drawings portable, or helps to make your drawings to be exchanged from one particular software to another particular software or from one particular computer to another particular computer. So what is, we'll start with the term graphics. So what is the meaning of graphics? So graphics refers to design or visual image displayed on a variety of surfaces, including canvas, paper, wall, sign, or a computer monitor. So here, what is the meaning of graphics? It just means that it is a drawing. Graphics means just drawing. You might have studied this in your first year engineering graphics. So what have you done there? In order to draw a particular in order to draw a particular image, what you have done is you have used a certain set of pencils. So you have standardized the certain set of pencils you have used. You might have used what 1H, 2H, 1B, 2B or HB pencils for making your drawings. Then you might have used you might have used certain dimensioning practices. You might have used standard dimensioning practices. You might have used standard annotations or standard text to make writings in your drawings. So why you are following, or why you have followed all these things? You have followed this in order to make your drawing standard, such that other people could also be able to understand or could also be able to interpret your drawing. So that is the major purpose of standardization. It's mainly done in order to make your drawings or in order to make your graphics universal or portable or could be interpreted by others. So here CGI or computer graphics imagery is something which you are doing within your computer. The drawings or graphics which you are making with inside with the aid of a computer is simply known as CGI. So what's the major purpose of graphic standards? As I already said, these standards are used to form a common interface between different computer systems or subsystems or application softwares or operating systems, all these things being served by this graphic standards. So standards promote the interchangeability of computer equipment. So that's what we have discussed. So when standards promote the portability of programs, this is called device independence. So as I already said, the example I have already said is the drawing you made using Microsoft Paint. So that particular drawing is being made by you in your computer using the software which is being installed in your computer. So such a drawing has been made universal. Such a drawing is now being made universally accessible for others. So that is the actual purpose of standardization. And this standards, if you are able to achieve such a thing, that is called device independence. That is, the drawing you made in your computer is being accessed by your friend in some other computer. So that is actually device independence. So kernel, here kernel means this actually acts as a interface or a mediator between different computer systems. That is actually, it forms the core between the computer operating systems, different computer operating systems. So for example, this is your computer and this is the computer used by your friend to visualize the drawing you made in your computer. So kernel is something which acts as an interface, something as a standard which makes your drawing portable. Okay, we may just see an analogy. Here, let us consider this as a person who could just speak English, and you could consider this person, this device as a person who could just speak Tamil. He doesn't understand English, and this person, he could not speak in Tamil. So these two persons, these two people have to communicate something in between them. So some communication has to be sent by this person to this person. That is the person who doesn't know Tamil, who knows only English, and he has to communicate something to the person who doesn't know English but only Tamil. So what is the possible mean he could attain? What's the possible way he could utilize in order to attain his goal? He could use an interpreter. And simple language, he could use a translator. This translator, he may be knowing both English as well as Tamil, such that he'll translate the words, he'll acquire the idea which is being expressed by the expressed by this person in English, and he could gather that ideas, and he could explain that idea he obtained in English to this person in Tamil. So that is similarly kernel is a standard interface between different systems. So in GKS, so different primitives will be there. So these primitives are lines, points, colors, text, shapes, different areas, polyline, arc, curves. So different set of primitives will be available in GKS, so that you may utilize this particular standard, may standardize your drawing in such a way that that could be accessed by different systems. So you will study all those things in detail. So here just gain the idea of GKS. It is mainly utilized to make your drawing to make your drawing standardized, such that that could be accessed by different computers, or that could be accessed by different softwares or different operating systems. So that's the major purpose of GKS. It is used to serve the exchange of graphics from one system to another system. Another standard for exchange of images. So both are nearly same standards for computer graphics as well as images. Both are actually similar. So here OpenGL, otherwise known as Open Graphics Library, is still used in very high level, so that it could be utilized to exchange data with images. Images may be 2D, images may be 3D. Lot of processing techniques are being attained by Open Graphics Library. So in real time you could experience, or you could find Open Graphics Library in transferring or in standardizing the images for games, for gaming softwares. So most of the gaming softwares most of the games you are experiencing now might have been utilizing this Open Graphics Library for the standardization purpose. So even games, may not be you may use that game in different platforms. You may play that game in your computer, you may play that same game in your mobile phones, even you can play that same game in your televisions now. So how it is being made possible? By means of Open Graphics Library. It's actually a high level standard. It's still used in a large amount, but it's not actually utilized in CAD systems and all. But this standard is mainly and precisely used in gaming softwares. So just get an idea on that. So here are the different effects which you could obtain by means of this OpenGL. Different effects which could be standardized, or which could be interpreted, which could be translated using this particular standard. So of course you'll be able to study this in detail later. Just have an idea. This is actually used for gaming softwares, for example for car racing, all those things. So different steps. So here this is actually known as that fragment processing or pixel processing. Initially you might have a car. So that particular car, for example, you may play same game in your computer and in your mobile phones. In your computer screen, the screen is bigger, and there also you'll be able to visualize that car in high clarity. high what the visualization will be of course high clarity. You could experience high clarity while visualizing that car in your computer. That same thing is actually again visualized using your mobile phones. You could again experience an increased clarity there. So what is the major reason? So that is actually because of rasterization, or dividing or fragmenting your drawings into pixels. So that is actually being done here. So this particular standard manages that. So this actually hinders the barrier between different displays. So of course you could study that in detail later. Just have an idea about this Open Graphics Library. Of course, similar to GKS, this type of standard will also have a different number of primitives for test, for the purpose of drawings, for colors, for text, all these purposes. So next we are moving on to data exchange standards. So data exchange standards is the one we will utilize for our CAD drawings. So this image shows that a double-sided arrow. So what this means? So here you can make a drawing using SolidWorks. You can just make it visualize using ANSYS, or if the drawing you make in SolidWorks could be transferred to ANSYS, and the same drawing you analyzed in ANSYS could again be transferred to SolidWorks. So that makes interchangeability or portability possible by means of data exchange standards. So this is actually utilized for our CAD systems. So we'll discuss about some of the data exchange standards. One is IGES, or Initial Graphics Exchange Specification. So this is the oldest as well as the most commonly used data exchange standard for our CAD system. So this is it's actually widely used. Uh, in We might even experience this in our colleges for final year projects, and all students might use this. They may draw some complex drawings using CAD software such as SolidWorks, Creo, uh, even CATIA. So what they may do is, after making that complex solid drawings in CATIA and some CAD softwares, they could just transfer it into ANSYS. So ANSYS is very good for analysis purposes. So in this CAD softwares, you might not experience good analyzing experiences. You might not be able to experience, or you might not be able to have good analyze modules here. So for that analysis purposes, for thermal, for structural, for dynamic analysis, what you can do is you can make a drawing here in this particular software, and you can just transfer it into ANSYS. So most of you will experience that. So while doing that, you may just come across this particular standard, or Initial Graphics Exchange Specification. Some of the major drawbacks of IGES are, of course, you may be able to save any drawing in IGS format, and ANSYS have the portability to uh, execute these drawings which is saved in IGS format. So whatever it may be, you'll open a particular drawing in ANSYS, and what you may experience there is a minute data loss could be experienced if you are using IGES, because this is the oldest data exchange standard. But of course, it's very versatile. It is being still used. But some of the major drawbacks you could experience is it actually results in data loss. Uh, uh, Most of the cases you will draw solid models, and when you export it to ANSYS, what you could experience is some loss of geometry, some important dimensions might have been lost there. Or if your geometry contains some sharp curves or some smooth curves and all, those things might have been lost while you are accessing the same image using ANSYS. So these are some of the major drawbacks while utilizing IGES format. So these flaws could be what these flaws could be rectified while you are using STEP, another standard format that is standard for exchange of product model data. So based on the current scenario, STEP is the most advantageous standard you could utilize for data exchange. It's a very good platform. The data loss, the information loss and all you experience in IGES will not be there if you are using STEP. So in a lot of industries, STEP is actually being utilized as the data exchange standard. So of course, you'll draw a drawing in CATIA or you'll draw a drawing in SolidWorks. That particular drawing or that particular solid model will be subjected to manufacturing operations, or that could be interlinked with CNC systems for manufacturing purposes. So that particular drawing could be interlinked with 3D printing softwares for additive manufacturing purposes, of course. And while you are making your drawing available for these kind of operations and all, the precision is very much important. The accuracy is very much important. The geometric tolerances, all these things are actually of course needed. So that could be attained. The high level accuracy of your drawings could be attained if you're saving that, or if you're exchanging your drawing using this particular format known as STEP. So IGES, of course you may suffer some data loss, that tolerance and all those informations, that exact dimensions, tolerancing, all those kind of informations might get lost if you are using IGES. So in most of the industries they are using STEP. Okay, next one is DXF. So DXF is drawing exchange format. So this is actually this is used in larger amount for transfer of 2D drawings. This is a format which is being developed by the Autodesk. So Autodesk, you know that. So the major software Autodesk, the major softwares of Autodesk are AutoCAD, Autodesk Inventor. So that 3D Fusion. So these are some of the major softwares of Autodesk, you know that. So this particular format is being developed by Autodesk in order to utilize the drawing, in order to exchange the drawing between Autodesk softwares. If you make a drawing in AutoCAD, that could be made available to that could be exchanged with Inventor. So to make this thing much more portable, or this exchange much more accurate, this particular format have been developed. But the major issue with this particular format is that uh, while you draw a file using AutoCAD, for example, and if you are saving that format using DXF, the file size may get very large than the parent file. So that's the major drawback which is being seen here. For small drawings, for 2D and all, it's a very good format. Even of course it's again used for 3D also. Next one is CALS, continuous acquisition and life cycle support. So this is another type of data exchange standard. So it doesn't have a direct relationship with our CAD systems. It is being invented in late 1960s and all by the US defense organizations, mainly because they have to transfer, or they have to exchange drawings with text on that. So initially we know that our drawings are made on paper. So transferring that, or that have a lot of limitations. So in order to avoid that, uh, to make to make the exchange of drawings, or to make the exchange of images with text possible, this particular system has been developed. So but actually you may not find this particular standard in your current CAD systems. It's very scarcely used. So as I already said, some of the drawbacks of IGES are It's very old, of course, that's a major drawback. It's very old means it's even invented in 1970s and all, but that's not a big issue. A lot of softwares are being invented during that period, but the major drawback is that it is not being updated for last 20 years. For over 20 years, this particular format is not actually updated. So that's the major drawback. So it is not information rich. As I already said, while you transfer a data from one system to another system utilizing IGES standard, it may suffer some loss of information such as the important curve geometries that may get lost. So that's actually uh, a major problem. So IGS cannot carry MBD or PMI data, or model. MBD stands for model based definition, and PMI product manufacturing information. So some of the product manufacturing informations are being marked here. So this shows the PMI data, that is, this shows the what geometric GT, geometric tolerancing, the major dimensions. So the surface properties, all those things could be marked on a drawing. So whether the surface is curved or whether the surface is flat, whether it is parallel to your datum or whether this is inclined to your datum. So all those things could be marked on the drawing. So that of course would be done by a design engineer. So these kind of data will actually could not be carried by IGES while you are exporting the same drawing to some other software. So that is a major problem. Again, IGS files often need to be repaired. Oh, sorry, the number is not regular. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 and 4. It's not 4 and 5. Just excuse it. And the fourth point is IGS file often need to be repaired. So the I also said that the information rich and this repairing issue, that is, it could lag. Some of the major geometries might get lost while you are transferring the data. So some of the major part of your drawing could get lost. So if that happens, what you have to do is you have to redraw it, you have to repair your drawing. So that is another major problem which is being faced in common while using IGES file format. So STEP is actually a particular standard which could overcome all these drawbacks, or all these disadvantages could be overcome if you're using STEP standard. So next we'll just go through the major steps by which you could transfer an image from SolidWorks software to ANSYS software. So first, you have made a drawing like this. You all know how to make a drawing. You might be experienced in solid modeling and all. So after modeling a particular component like this, what you do is you will save it. So you will save it in which format? While saving it, they'll ask you which kind of format you prefer. So of course you have, if you just look into this, you have DXF format is there, JPEG, that image format is there, that Creo, so Photoshop format. So different formats are available. So here STEP is available here, IGES is available here. So here I'm going to select IGES. If you wish to save using STEP, you could go for STEP. So I'm going to save it using IGES format. So my part got saved. I'm naming it as part. So since I selected the standard format as IGES, it will be saved as IGES file. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ANSYS, and I'm using the ANSYS. In the ANSYS module, I have used import. This is ANSYS window. Here in the ANSYS window, I'm using the, under the file tab, I'm using import is there. So import, while clicking that will lead to the place where you have saved your drawing. That is part 1 IGES. That's a drawing you made and you saved using IGES format. So I'll select it, and inside your ANSYS window you could experience the geometry will be imported to your ANSYS window. So next, while you develop it, this is the import, this tree region. It will have a file name import. So if you just click this, and if you just right click and click generate, you could visualize the drawing you made using SolidWorks. So that drawing is actually being transferred here. Some of the major problems you could experience is this geometric tolerance might have been lost, the dimensions might have been changed. So such kind of problems are actually being experienced while using IGES format. So you could again go back if you are facing any problem while using IGES. Of course, step format is also available. You could save it in step format. Again, you could follow the same steps and you could import that drawing to ANSYS software. Now you can proceed with analyzing in ANSYS. So why you are drawing a particular model in ANSYS and you are importing it to why you are drawing a particular model in SolidWorks and then you are importing it to ANSYS. So what's the major reason for that? Of course, you know that ANSYS is not a good solid modeling software. It's not user friendly. Of course, due to that reason, you could go for some of the good solid modeling softwares. You could create your model there, then you could transfer it to ANSYS for analysis purposes. Okay. So the final standard you will be visualizing is communication standard. So what is the actual need for communication or communication standard? So here we'll have LAN as well as WAN, that concept, local area network and a wide area network. So why you should have a communication standard? As I already said in the initial example, that you made a drawing using your Paint, you saved it in JPEG format, you just send that file to your friend by email. If you are emailing that file to your friend, internet, that email is acting an interface between you and your friend. So that should also have a particular standard in order to transfer that file from one region to another region. You are using internet. So while transferring a file which is being made in your computer through internet, there also, of course, there are also particular standardization has to be occurred. So internet is some different platform. So it is actually interlinking two different computers. Of course, two different computers are being interlinked by internet. So while you are transferring one data from one region to another region, there also it should be standardized. Solely it could be encoded and it could be decoded at two different ends. So that's the need of communication standards. So anyway, thank you. So through this video, what I meant is I just want you to know what are the major uses of CAD standards. So what are the major use of standards we are going to study here? What's the major use of standardization? Hope you got a basic idea regarding this. Each individual topics in this particular each individual topics we are discussed in this particular video will be elaborately discussed later. Thank you.